This is pretty much what my car looks like every single morning on my way to work. This is pretty much just a mixture of bodybuilding, working outside, and trying to be healthy all at the same time. This is what your car is going to look like when you're trying to live that lifestyle, especially out in the cold, because we got all my warm stuff right there, all my tools right there, because we're swapping over to jobs. And then we got my backpack for school, cooler to pick up unpasteurized milk from the local farmer. We got my gym bag, and then we got my lunch pail, or my lunch bag. It always looks like I'm taking a road trip out to across the country.
Man, you know that one moment in the gym when you're working out and you're going to failure and then you think you failed and you're like, wait a minute, maybe I didn't, maybe I'm gonna try it again. So you try it again, you're still able to get that extra rep. That's pretty much what I was going for right there. There's really nothing wrong with that. You gotta kind of have that mindset every time you're training to failure. Is you gotta kind of ask yourself again when you're done, like, am I really done? Like, am I really good right there, or do I gotta do one more? That's why it was so hard for me to get that last one. And I was like, yeah, we're good. So when I'm training, I like to do one set of drop sets, just one set, and I make sure I go to failure on both of them. Because I'm only doing that because if I go to failure on just one set, that might not be enough. So it doesn't really matter how many sets you do. If you're trying not to get injured, then you don't have to do anything more than one rep. I'm sorry, one set. You don't have to do anything more than one set if you're trying to avoid injury. Then you can spend a lot of time doing mobilization movements. However, you don't want to be overtraining though. Anything over 20 sets a week is considered overtraining. But for me personally, if you're doing drop sets, by the time you're done with those drop sets, that's one set. Because you're still in that working movement. 5 sets was an exaggerated number. That's kind of going overkill. That's way too much volume. So I like to just hit it right in the sweet spot. 2 drop sets. So when I do my barbell shrugs, I don't like to stand and do them because I have low back problems that I'm currently working on. Just working on rehabbing them. And one of the rehab procedures I have to follow is not triggering my back pain. So in my case, if I'm doing a standing barbell shrug, I can throw my back out from that. So I like to do a chest supported one, so there's no load on the back. So this is essentially why we're cutting weight. We're not necessarily gaining muscle per se. However, we're cutting the weight. Not building muscle, we're just maintaining it. And we're seeing all the results that we made during our bulk. Wasn't really able to train abs this time due to my low back pain. For some reason when I cut weight, I just realized that my low back pain gets really bad, so maybe during the bulk we can train abs and see where it can take us. I mean, I do kind of have abs still, just from cutting the weight. But like I said, I got really good ab genetics. And holy shit. You can be a gym rat all you want. You can work out 7 days a week, every single day, 2-hour sessions, every single day, for months on end without taking a single rest day. And you can do that all you want. I'm not saying don't do it. I actually have high respect for you if you are doing that, because that's a lot of work. However, you can only do that for so long. Because my experience with training is I was going really hard my first and second year. Also going into my third year, I was going really hard in training. But the more I would train super hard like that, super high volume, super high intensity, a lot of the injuries that I went through are still lingering in my body to this day from the decision that I made on my first and second year into lifting, when I was just training extremely hard with extremely high volume. If you're lifting 7 days a week, there's a very small chance. Well, I'm not going to say a small chance. I'm going to say there's a big chance that your volume is way too high. Over 25 sets a week is considered overtraining. I remember I was doing like 50 sets a week. And now this is why I'm a big fan of deloading. Because you're still going to the gym, however, you're training 50% volume, 50% load. So you're still going in there, but you're not killing yourself. You're going in there, you're just moving your body. You're pretty much just doing a regression week. I think I got this idea from Jeff Nippard. Because if you're not deloading and you're just training, you're just overtraining, eventually all that's going to catch up to you, and you're going to have to start doing mobility work, 10-minute warm-ups, and then like a 20-minute rehabilitation after every single workout that you do, because you just destroyed all of your fucking joints. And when you're cutting weight, it's all those pains are going to come back when you're cutting weight, because your body is not used to losing weight that fast. And it's gonna bite you in the ass. That's what happened with me, at least. That was my experience. I'm just sharing my experience. And if you think that my experience is like a radical, realistic
thing, then you can apply it to yourself as well. You don't have to do anything I'm saying. So like my back started hurting. I couldn't train abs without feeling pain. I don't want to trigger my pain. If I trigger my pain, it's just going to make it worse. Long story short, if you are avoiding mobility, then that's no different than just kind of slapping a band-aid on the problem and continuing, which is not, it's not a good idea. I know you want to be tough. I know you think it's for pussies, but come on. So if you got back problems, start training your hip flexors, start training your core, not just the abs, but your obliques and all of the little muscles that are surrounding your spine, because when you tighten that core up properly, it's gonna make that brace on your spine. So let's say this is my spine and these are my muscle. This is my muscle right here. It goes around the spine like this, all the way in a 360. So when you tighten the core, you're creating a barrier with your spine when you tighten your core. But if you were to just not tighten your core and you're just kind of loose with your core, then your spine's gonna be loose too. Kind of like how my hands just like loosened up a little bit. Your spine's gonna be loose too, and then there's gonna be a lot more movement, a lot more problems. So injuries can set you back without you even realizing it. You really don't want to put yourself in that kind of pickle.